Our objective is to review solving linear equations. So there's 5 steps in solving equations. I like to use an acronym. Don't call me after midnight. Do not call your teacher after midnight. Okay. The first step is we use the distributive properties. So if you're able to use a distributive property, that is going to be your step number 1. Your step number 2 is going to be to combine like terms. If you have like terms. If you don't have, then you move on to step number 3, move variable to one side. So if you have variables on one side, that's going to be the next step, is move your variables to one side. And step number 4, add or subtract. So you might subtract or you might add, okay? And then the last step is to multiply, divide, and then just solve your equation, okay? So we're going to do an example together. The first example is just, first step number 1 is to distribute the -4. That's a -4, so we're going to distribute. And how do we distribute? We multiply. So -4, multiply it by 2b. Because we have a -4 and a +5, a negative times a positive is a negative. So I'm going to have -4 times 5. Once we do that, -4 times 2b is -8b, minus 4 times 5, which is 20. The left side right now, we haven't done anything to it. That has stayed the same. And now we're going to move. What are we going to move? The 20 with the -84. -84 plus 20, we're going to end up with a negative number, okay? And I know most of you want to say so, that it's a, why is it a negative? Because the -84 is greater, so it's a -64. And then we have a -80. The 20 and the -20 cancel. And now we're going to do divide by -80. So my result, -64 divided by -8 is 8. So my variable b is equal to 8, and we could check it. The way you check it is plug it back in. Okay, so now b is 8. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 plus 5 is 21. 21 times -4 is 20. 21 times -4 is -84. Okay, that's our first example. So that's our problem number 1 on your sheet. We're going to go to problem number 6 now. This requires a little bit more steps. So first thing, distributive property, right? You distribute the 8 to the 1 and to the -7. Okay, 8 times 1 would be 8. 8 times -7x would be -56x. And now we go to the next one. Now we're distributing the 7. Okay, so now you're distributing the 7 to the 6 and to the -2x. -7 times 6 is -42. We have a -7 times a -2. That's going to be a positive 14x. So we distribute. Now we're going to combine like terms, and my like terms right here on this side is 8 minus the 42. Okay. And 8 minus 42, we have -34. The next terms that we need to combine are -56x with the positive 14. That's -42. Now what are we going to move? We're going to move the 34. By doing a plus 34 to both sides. We have 76 negative plus 34. That's a negative 42. Okay. And then the last step is to divide by negative 4. So what is x equal to? 1. Okay. That's problem number 6 on your sheet that you have available. Now let's do one more. So it's a little bit more complicated because we have our variable x on both sides, but we still follow the same steps where we distribute first. So we distribute the 6 and the 4, and the 6 and the negative 8. 6 times 4, that's 24, minus 6 times negative 8x, which is negative 48x. Now we only have variables on both sides. We're going to move one of those. Okay. And it doesn't matter which one you move. Since they're both negative, I'm going to do a positive. And they just so happen to be the same number. Okay. Ooh, so what happens to my x? It is gone. It disappears. So I have that 51 equals 24. Does 51 equal 24? No. So this is what we call the no solution problem. Okay, so remember those from algebra? There are some equations that have no solution, one solution, or multiple, infinite and many. If this would have been that 51 equals 51, then it would have been infinite and many. But in this case, it doesn't, so it's a new solution. Okay? So that's all for today. Have a great day.